Hello and welcome to Dreams of Wings, and it is with a sense of great relief that I see that the microphone seems to be working. I always say this, things always go wrong when I'm streaming or making a recording, and I'd got everything set up and I actually just loaded out of the sim to load back in to see if it would fix actually a model matching thing, and my sim wouldn't load at all, so I had to restart everything, restart the computer. Anyway, it's working. Enough of that. It's a chilled out Friday. I hope you are well. It's Friday evening. I thought, why not? I've got a bit of time. Why not have a good old HEMS session? I've got a good few hours to have a run at it, so hopefully we can see some interesting scenery, see what kind of missions come our way. The beauty of using Random and Anywhere is I have no idea where we're going to go or what's going to come our way. I'll talk a bit more about what we're using, but yeah, it makes it all that more interesting. And if you want to come along for a mystery flight, then we are on the Southeast Asia server, and we are at Plockton. Which, according to the little nav map, it looks like there's two flavors, because I'm actually using using some third-party scenery. I've got Echo Golf 29, and then we've also got Echo Golf Delta 3 Mike, but I think that's probably conflicting scenery from something else. Anyway, it's Plockton. It's the west coast of Scotland, and it's absolutely marvellous. Evening to everyone in the chat. I will catch up with everyone. Hope you're well. Good to see some familiar faces here. So very quickly, let's try and be slightly professional about this. So we get up to the campaign map over here. So this is where we are, Plockton. Fantastic name, lovely little airstrip, and we are on the west coast of Scotland here. So we've got Skye over here. Down here you've got Fort William and you've got Ben Nevis. Over here, if you follow the streams, is Inverness and Raigmore Hospital. I suspect we'll probably end up going there, but we're going to do the west coast because it's totally different kind of scenery to what we've done before, and it's quite beautiful in its own sense. Okay, right, let's go back to the stream. Remember to press that button so you're not stuck on the map the whole bleeding time. Right, so, oh, hello, something's just started up. By the way, this is a good point to say, if at any point the Coast Guard's arrived, if at any point the sound of the helicopter engine or the sim sounds start drowning out my voice, and you're one of the few people that actually do want to listen to what I'm saying, then please do give me a shout. I'm using the same sound settings as I've used before, and they worked last time, but it seems that every time I do a stream, someone says, "Can't hear you," or "Bleeding it, you're too loud." So yeah, do feel free to shout. This is a very relaxed stream. We've got a few hours of virtual life saving ahead of us. So yeah, feel free to join the chat as well. Lee, hey, this popped in my feed, tuning in for the first time. Well, it's a pleasure to have you here, Lee. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you enjoy it. I certainly will. I've not been doing... I've not had a chance to have a good HEMS session for a while, so I am really looking forward to this. Right, let's get the... Come on, head tracking sorted out. Got the door open. So we've got the 500, we've got the MH60, I think that's ADO, that's actually seems to be working in my sim now. And we've got two H145s at the moment, both in beautiful Royal Air Force yellow colours, I should say. Let's jump outside a second. There we go. So this is a 202 Squadron repaint by Demo Designs for the Hype Performance Group H145, and it's a repaint of that Sea King which served the 202 Squadron at RAF Lossiemouth, which I have a little connection to because I lived there for a while in the 80s and blooming loved it. Anyway, enough of that. Enough of that. Okay, so yeah, recapping what we're using the Hype Performance Group H145. We're using the High Performance Group Action Pack expansion, which is what enables us to do the missions. We are using the incredible free HEMS H145 random and anywhere. It's also called random and everywhere in some places, but on flightsim.to it's called random and anywhere. It's a free mod by Davierosoft. Andrew is a real world Airbus helicopter flight instructor in real life, and has given up his time to build this amazing mod, which if you've not seen it before, you're going to see it tonight, and I'm sure you will be amazed. It's an incredible piece of software, and it's a free add-on, so there you go. So we're using that. We're using the M. Gonzalez H145 realistic sound pack for the helicopter. We're using the Kickers realistic voice pack for the crew. The crew are there, but we're going to load them up again in a second because that's what the app will do. And what else am I forgetting? I don't think I'm forgetting anything else at the moment. Oh, and I'm using this Plockton scenery, which, being completely unprepared, I have not made a note of who made it, and I've just installed it. And by God, I'm not gonna gloss over it. I need to tell you if I'm using it. I need to tell you what I'm using. So let's have a quick look at that. Just going through the website, get out of the way. So this is EG29 Plockton by Dabba. There you go. And also, by the way, if we go to any of the airports, I'm using the Epic Full Scottish helipads. There we go. That's a lot to go through. Papa Hotel Dutch scenery design. Hello, mate. Hope you're well. Good to see you here. Steve Monroe, what is the tracking attached to your headset? This is the Grass Monkey King Puck. There. Pick a side. I haven't got my left-right gloves on. Yeah, it's cheaper than Track IR, and it's really quite good. Right. We need to get flying, so I need to start concentrating. I'm just going to quickly check my physical controls. They're all working. That's good. It's always a bit embarrassing when you start to stream and nothing's working. So first things first is we need to get the mission loaded, and we need to get the I say the mission loaded. We need to get the mission mod loaded, and we need to do that before the helicopter's up and running. So I'm going to do that now. There we go. And I'm going to use that one. So just wait for that to go through there. There we go. And I'm going to... yeah, so we'll leave the dispatcher coverage there on the start location, because we want to come back here. You could say use location, which means that we keep moving around, or you could say custom location. You could choose it, but I'm going to leave it there. I am going to wind this out just a little bit because we are in the middle of nowhere to a certain extent. So let's just get that. There we go. So that's all good, and single player. And now it's telling us that we're not connected, which is true. So now we can fire up the helicopter. So we have battery on. I'm going to put the anti-collision lights on while we're faffing about. And then we can get the mission radio on. I will catch up with the chat in a bit. I'm not ignoring you. Don't worry. Right, we'll get rid of you. That's fine. So we're just waiting for this to come up and tell us that we can connect. It simulates, the mod simulates things in time as well, so things aren't instant. So it's there we go, we can connect now. It's simulating the radio coming together and all that kind of stuff, so it's very, very immersive. So it says, there we go, connected, and we're all good to go, and we can see we're connected to the HEMS Operations Centre, which are the lot who are going to give us all our missions. And of course, at this point, in reality, what we'd be doing is we'd be sitting in the crew room over there with a mug of tea, and I have a simulated, or not so simulated, mug of tea here. So we're pretending. Oh, here's the crew. Here they come.
Hey, good morning, all. Ready
they're
for
over
missions?
there. All right, lads.
Good
there
morning,
we go.
Frank.
Wow. We got RR Loco Engineer watching from Florida, lovely part of the world, and Falconer watching from Sweden.
Good morning.
I've never been to Sweden, but I've been to Finland, which is kind of close.
Fuel
And
tanks are almost full.
I'm a big fan of that whole kind of area.
Please ask.
By the way, how's the sound? Because that is...
Thank you, Frank. Thanks, Jack.
Fellas, I'm trying to talk here, all right? It's very loud in my ear, so hopefully you can still hear me over the crew having a good old NASA. Right, what do we got? We got patient experiencing acute heart failure symptoms, so we don't want to mess about. We're going to accept that.
We are securing the equipment. Stand by.
Okay, are you ready to start? He's ready to start. So let's pop up here. Engines. I think I started 2-1 last time, so we're going to go
Preparing
1,
for engine
2.
starting sequence. 1, 2.
Get the prime pumps on. Let's have a quick
audio test.
Cabin checks finished. We're set to go.
That's so good. Where have you gone?
Area clear. Ready to start engine 1.
Okay, so engine 1, and let's keep an eye on. Hang on, there we go. Everyone rising, TOT rising, oil pressure rising. Should really have checked the battery before we did that, but the excitement of going off to rescue someone got in the way. Quick look down here, let's acknowledge all those. Anybody who joined the last stream, you may remember we had an engine fire. I'm hoping we don't have an engine fire. It's the first engine fire that I've had.
Engine started successfully. Moving to other engine.
And it was rather exciting, to say the least.
Engine clear.
Okay, let's have 2. There we go. For some reason my mouse wheel is going a bit too far. It keeps... I have to be careful of that. So, N1's rising, torque's rising, TOT's rising, oil pressure's rising.
All engines started successfully.
Marvellous. Well done. He's going to do his leak checks. So, let's have battery on.
Hold on. Performing leak checks.
Yeah, that's alright. I've told him you're doing that, don't worry. And LAVCS to pilot. That's so good. Something I will do is, let's pop down here, system, and we'll do a quick, let the system do a pre-flight check.
Okay, all good.
TOS system test okay.
Okay, so pre-flight test okay, that's all good. We can bring that back down. Quick check that I've not done anything silly. Everything is where it should be, that's fine. Let's get some ventilation, some heating on. Don't need to worry about lights, we'll get the strobe and the landing light on at this point. Quick look back down here, we can get back to here, that's fine. Engines to, cool, quick check here, yeah, we're okay. All our startup tests have worked a treat. Let's have engines to flight. Bring in all our autopilot systems. Okay, so if we have a quick look over here, it updates as the time goes on. That's the other great thing about it. It's not just a case of you've got a problem at point A, you need to go there. So we can see as other things happen, this gets updated. So we've got at least one injured, waiting for information. Patient experienced acute heart failure symptoms. Ambulance Bravo 17 is on the way to the accident. And he is. Somewhere in this world, there is an ambulance on the way to that location. And when he gets there, we'll get more information. Symptoms, acute coronary syndrome. Right, quick check of the chat. Okay, that's cool. That's great. Okay, brilliant. Sounds like the sound is okay, so that was the thing I was a little bit concerned about. Glad that you can hear me. Right, everything is good down there. I'm going to pop this over here, and I'm going to pop... no, I'm going to pop you there. Right. Let's go to the map. So this is where we are heading to. There's the ambulance that I told you is on the way. And it's not too far at all. But you'll see the line is white, and you'll see we've got no distance information there. So what we need to do, a couple of things we need to do. First of all, we need to select MSFS as the nav source, because we're not using the GTN, we're using the mission. And then also we just need to cycle the GTN using the home button. I've no idea why, but sometimes you have to do that. And we can see now that our casualty is 9.5 miles away, so we're not hanging about at all. Right, quick check of the chat. Brilliant. Okay, everything's cool. I will when we get going, or when we're flying, I can talk a little bit more. Okay, I haven't done anything silly, have I? That's all good. That's fine. Right. Wind is on the nose, and it's currently 18 knots. Quick hover check. Everything's good. There's Frank. Quick look over here. Make sure I'm not going to bang into anybody. And let's get a move on.
VTOS. VY.
Say hello or goodbye to the horses. Okay, now a real-world H145 pilot told me off for leaving this up. He said, you don't leave that up. You put something else up. So seeing as Matey Boy here isn't doing any flying, we'll give him a nice big map to look at. I do love the scenery. Falconer heading you're going to want is 235 from Plockton. Plockton almost sounds like a name that you'd call someone if you didn't particularly like him. Okay, let's have a quick check. Okay, so we've got an error that's just come up. But we're going to ignore that and we're going to carry on. This is something to say about this mod is it is so complicated. There's so many things going on, and of course the sim keeps changing, and every now and again it some little thing might go wrong, and that could be something minor. It could be just an object or something, but we will carry on because the mission looks like it's running. I've coupled the autopilot now to the nav, so you can see the helicopters now doing the flying, and everything is tickety-boo. Quick check of the chat. Cool. Okay, I can see Falconer, you've got that now. Something I suddenly realised I haven't done. I haven't got my Rex Atmos running. So if anybody's interested in Rex Atmos, you're now about to get a live demonstration of what happens when you switch it on, and I can assure you this isn't planned, and I do hope it doesn't crash the sim. So Rex Atmos should kick in any second. Let's see. Okay, so that's kicked in, so it's just kind of reduce the visibility a little bit. Oh, isn't that lovely? It's a shame that the rotors still aren't going round in multiplayer, but that's very nice. So yeah, it's funny with the Rex Atmos. I find that sometimes it does something amazing, and you think, "Wow, that looks so cool," and then other times you think, "Ugh," and that's one of those kind of moments.
Ambulance with no paramedic are on the way to the accident
Right,
site.
let's get that out of the way. Let's move that. Okay, so you just heard them say that the ambulance is on the way. Let's quickly, if we get the medical diagnostic page. So this is important, and this will change as time goes on. So at the moment, we don't know their name because no one's got to them yet. Dispatch injured person in apartment. Well, we've got that. Status upon medical arrival is unknown because the ambulance hasn't got there yet. We haven't got there yet. And patient assigned emergency code 5. Basically, we don't know yet. So this page of information here will change as time goes on, and it's quite important to have because it's giving us an indication of what's happening with the patient, because the patient will change, and the situation could get more serious, or it could get better. Who knows? Right, let's go back. 87 years. Okay, 87 years female. Acute heart failure, we know about that. Symptoms, acute coronary syndrome. So we've got a bit more information coming up there now because ambulance Bravo 17 has reached the scene. So let's go back to the map. So yeah, interested to see where we ended up going. Yeah,
a possible hospital destination for our patient. Infos are available on tablet.
I take it that's
Change later.
I take it that's you, Ado. You were an MH60 for a moment, but it looks like it's put you back as an H145. I have absolutely no idea why, but it has. Sorry, old chap. It'll probably put you back as an MH60 soon. Model matching is a bit of a joke. Right, let's concentrate. So I'm going to put the VMS back on because we are going to start doing landings and that sort of thing. So it's always a good idea, in my opinion, to see what your engines are doing and all that sort of thing. So we're heading into wind. Oh, I love that 500. It is a gorgeous helicopter, isn't it? It's such good fun to fly. Okay, so I'm going to disengage the autopilot. So, doctor, on the scene it seems there is one injured and an ambulance with no critical care paramedic. We will check that. So that's my doctor talking to me. We will check and stabilise him. If his condition allow, he will be transported by ambulance. That basically means that we have the expertise on board because we've got an emergency doctor, and what we're going to do is let him have a look at the patient, work his magic on the patient, and he could well give the patient enough magic sponges so that he can just go on the ambulance to the nearest hospital, or
we are approaching the landing site.
Or he might go to the hospital with him. Or who knows? We'll find out. This is the bit where I need to concentrate a bit. I've disabled the flares, by the way, or the smoke, just to try and make it look a bit realistic, so that it's a little bit harder to find where the casualty is. But in this case, it's not search and rescue, so it's not too difficult. But let's have a look. Do a quick recce. So we can see the ambulance there. Try and find somewhere nice to land. We've got the field just there. So I think that field is going to be it. I think we're going to land down there. So we'll just come back round again. Ruddy great big mast there. We don't want to go pranging into that. I'm going to close the tablet. There we go. Oh, look at that. Oh, we have got an MH60 with us. Okay, interesting. I need to concentrate on flying, not plane spotting. Because I've totally messed up this approach. Engine's looking fine. Trees.
We are reasonably close.
Whoa, nice touch, Captain.
Give that man an extra Mars bar. Right. Engines to idle now. Look at that. 2 MH60s. We've got Coast Guard and we've got the Royal Navy. We've got the Royal Air Force. My eyes are getting a little bit damp with emotion here. Look at that. Beautiful. So, here we go. Here's our patient down here. We can see the ambulances there. And the chaps are going to jump out now and have a look. Let me just lock off. Where can we get a nice view? I'm going to leave the engine running because the engine's running. I don't know how long we're going to be. Quick catch up with the chat. Papa Hotel. That is a very good question. The answer is yes, providing you have the relevant pack. So I've got a UK pack, but there's a pack for France. There's a pack for the US. All the different region packs for vehicles are listed on the Random and Anywhere page. I must admit, because I do all my flying really in the UK, I've not really looked. But yeah, essentially you have different packs for different regions. Sounds still alright, hopefully. So you can see the guys now, my doctor and my paramedic are now working on the patient. The idea of HEMS is to take the expertise and the critical care of a hospital to the patient rather than grabbing the patient and then bringing them back. It means that the patient gets that specialist care a lot sooner than they would have done in the past, and a lot of modern HEMS, certainly in the UK, was learnt in Afghanistan. Right. Yeah, Pap Hotel, it's free. This mod is you have to buy the H145 helicopter. You have to buy the action pack expansion that enables you to do missions, and then the actual mod is free. It's amazing, and I was saying at the beginning, this mod, Random and Anywhere, is built by a real-world Airbus helicopter flying instructor, so he knows his stuff, and he likes to put a lot of detail in it. Let's quickly just get this up. So here we go. So patient Jane Doe, fictional, 87 years old, female, injured person in apartment, diagnosis confirmed ACS, status upon medical arrival unconscious. That's not a good sign. Patient assigned emergency code 1, and she has got a score of 23. 0 being, let's face it, we're not required anymore, and 100 being, why the hell are you wasting my time? So she is not in a good state at all. I can't quite believe what I've just seen. But I'm going to wait and see what it does. I think he wants us to go to this hospital, which is fine. But I guess she is in a bad state. But it'd be interesting to see. I'm not sure if this hospital has a landing pad. So I think that was I just saw the ambulance moving off. But where is... Okay, just waiting for the lads to load her. Here they come. I was getting a little bit nervous there. Right, accept selection. So literally... Are we just going there? I mean, it is incredibly clever. We are just going there. It's incredibly clever because it knows on the map it can see a hospital. And so it's telling us to go there. So who am I to argue? So it's a very quick hop over to the hospital there. Sorry, Northland there. Anyway, recently had to reinstall it. For the life of me, I cannot get it to work again. The default missions with the Northland. Have you refreshed your mission index in? Okay, yeah. Ops Center shows the Ranneman everywhere, but it is through the GPS through the Ops Center, not connected to the aircraft in the sim. Yeah, I'm not sure about that, mate. Not sure about that. Okay, so we're all good. We're going to lift, and the hospital is literally right behind us.
Medical crew is waiting on landing spot.
I'd love to know what this landing spot is going to look like. Okay, just waiting for that to go on. 101. There we go, 101. Quick hover check. All good. No warning lights. Nothing going bing. So we're just going to pop round here. I can't wait to see what kind of landing site we've got. If there's no helipad here, I think we'll be parking outside the fish and chip shop. So what we got? See if I can see the hospital crew. Interesting. Oh, there they are. There they are. Good God, that actually looks like a little helipad, doesn't it? Okay, so we know where it is now. Half the battle. I tend to prefer to do like a, instead of doing a vertical landing, do it like a normal approach, because then you get a much better sight picture, because at the moment I've no idea. Yeah, I'm going to just bring it round. I'm conscious that there's quite a lot of trees there. And we don't want to go banging into them, so let's have a look. So there's a nice long field there. That MH60 does look rather good, doesn't it? Yeah, I think I'm going to come over this way. That does look like it might be on quite a slope as well, but who are we to argue? If the medical experts need us, then we shall answer their call and we shall land on a bleeding slope. There we go, so we've got much better visibility now. I can actually see where I'm going. So I'm just going to slide in. Oh, that's not good. My joystick has decided to come loose. I love this little helipad. Didn't even know it was there.
Rear crew, prepare for ground operations.
Right, lads, hoik him out. Now, that's very unprofessional. I just realised I didn't have the guards on. I was so intent on hopping out for the shortest trip to the hospital ever that I didn't put the guards up. Terrible. Yeah, Northland, I'm not sure. The Hypop Centre shows the Ranneman everywhere. It is as though the Op Centre is not connecting to the aircraft in the sim.
Helicopter in position. Rear crew, you are clear to start operations.
So thinking it through, I know that you wouldn't see it on the tablet if you hadn't indexed the missions. But by the sounds of it, because you can see in the Op Centre you have indexed the missions. So I'm not sure why you wouldn't see it. That sounds strange. I can't think of a logical reason for it, mate. If I'm honest, it's not one I've seen before. Usually it's just a simple case of having to need to re-index it. Actually, Platty, that is a good point. Well, actually, it depends. If he can't see the HEMS random anywhere at all in the mission list, then that's probably not the radio. That's just something else. But yeah, you'd need the radio for it all to connect up. If you can see HEMS random anywhere in the mission list, but it's not connecting, then yeah, it's worth checking that this radio is set up. Right, so we're down. We've handed our patient over to the hospital peeps, and what will happen now is that our crew are going to walk off with the hospital staff, and they'll do a handover to the doctor in the hospital, and they'll say, right, well, we injected them with this, we gave them a slap around the face and a cup of tea and said don't be so silly, and all that kind of stuff. Oh, they didn't. Ah, that's different. Normally they do a handover, but obviously in this case they didn't need to. That's fine. So we're going to select another mission. So we'll say receive new dispatch. And let's go there. Let's see what we got now. Come on. So a rider lost control of his quad and has been injured. Let's go get him. So just let that load up. So every time you do a new mission, it has to go through a sequence of events within the mod.
Strapping down the equipment. Stand by for confirmation.
So at the moment, we've just basically we've just told the dispatcher that we're ready, that we'll take it. The crew are sorting everything out in the back. You right, crew? How you doing? You good? Excellent. How are you?
Cabin check's finished. We're set to go.
He's got more of a smile. Every time we fly, he seems to have more of a smile on his face. Okay, so destination is 4.9 nautical miles. Let's open up on the map. Let's have a look. So we're going here, which should be a nice little flight actually. Nice bit of sightseeing. So we'll close that. Quick look down here. We'll have both engines to flight. Put the guards on like a semi-professional. They show up in the ops center, just not on the tablet in the sim. I'd forgotten about the radio and Wi-Fi. I'll try that next. Okay. Yeah, you should see it though in the mission list anyway, Northland. It should appear, you know, when you click on the mission button, you should see it there. Strange that it's not. Okay, right, engines are up to speed now. That's good. I'm going to keep those on for takeoff. That's all good. Check down here, no warnings. Everyone happy. Obstacles are trees behind, hospital buildings and a farmhouse over there, and a lovely 500 behind us. Oh, and trees in front as well, so, and the wind's on the nose, so that's good. Okay, let's lift. We're on a slope, so I just need to take that into account. Quick hover check. Engine's good, and we have got no problems in terms of warning lights. I'm going to hop over the tree and we will pick up some speed going into wind. Wind is 29 knots now.
VTOS.
That was a lovely surprise, that little landing pad. I wasn't expecting that.
VY.
Okay, we can start heading on course now. Yeah, but I like to flick the switches and flick the guards, Lars. It's a little tiny bit of realism, if that makes sense. Okay, let's head on by. So we can see there the Atmos has just reduced the business a little bit in the distance, which is cool. Check of everything there, and now we can pop it into autopilot and couple. There we go. Oh, let's watch that. The autopilot is very sensitive. It's very easy to overtalk if you're flying at quite high speed as we were then. A slight gust of wind or something when you're on autopilot, and all of a sudden you are over talking. So I'm just keeping an eye on that. Okay. Yeah, cheers Northland. It'd be interesting to know what it is, and then, you know, maybe if you can't get it to work when we're all on the Discord just chatting, then you know, we can have a look. I'm sure it's something simple, but obviously something that we can figure it out. So, quick check here. We have got 11.7 nautical miles, 6 minutes to run. "76 years old, male, rider lost control of his quad and has been injured. Ambulance, NA104 on the way to the accident. No advanced paramedic on board. Police MP148 crews on the way to accident site. As accident site may be off-road, if it's needed, we will define a nearby area where a rescue team can support your operations." Symptoms: severed extremities. Good God. Severed extremities is something that you don't want, generally. It's not a great thing. Right, I'm just conscious of that mast there. Let's no, we're okay. I was just getting ready to move us over, but we're absolutely fine. We're gonna go past that. That's the bridge over to Skye. No, it's not. Yes, it is. Arguing with myself now. Yep, that's the Sky Bridge. That's the Kyle of the Calsh. Beautiful area. Craig, 2024 is nothing but trouble. H145 has lost its activation now in the B49, but I can't see any multiple aircraft. The names. Okay. Craig, you probably need to, if you go onto their Discord, the H145 Discord, there is something you have to do in 2024 to activate it, and it's not a big deal. It's quite an easy process, but not an easy one to describe here. But if you head over to their Discord, you'll see it, and then you can get your H145 up and running again. No problems. I've just taken back manual control again just to get us over the top here. The scenery is just so beautiful. Three minutes out. Oh, I need to. There we go. Just remember to tighten up the stick.
$500.
Just hop over the top here. So we can see our marker on the map there.
Ambulance with no paramedic are on the way to the accident site. We will find an ambulance not far away from accident area. They are unable to reach the site.
Air mobile. Beautiful. Yeah, when whatever update is required, whenever it comes out so that the H145 rotors move, that will be fantastic. Right. I'm plane spotting again rather than flying. Concentrate, boy. So you can see on the map there, you can see the police car and the ambulance.
I set a possible hospital destination for our patient. Infos are available on tablet. We can confirm or change later.
So you can see, for whatever reason, they're not able to get to the casualty easily. Looks like he's going to be up here. Look at that. Beautiful. So just keeping an eye out for him. You can see why the ambulance couldn't get to him. Now, is that... When the map zooms in like that, all of a sudden you lose your bearing. So I'm just going to come back round here. When you think about it, it's incredibly clever, because what it does is it looks at the map that you're flying around and it says, okay, here's a position on the map where a quad bike accident could happen, and it puts it down there. It really is incredibly clever when you stop and think about it.
We are approaching the landing site.
Now the problem is the map has zoomed again, and I'm not entirely sure. There's our line again. So we're down there. Just looking down through my feet just to see. Yeah, we need to go a little bit lower, do a recce. Look at that scenery, man. Beautiful. Let's get rid of the... Actually no, we'll leave the tablet up for the time being because it's quite handy to see where we're going. Guide us onto the target. Okay, let's see what we got. Seeing anything at the moment, but we're coming into the zone now. See a nice field there to land on. Oh, I think I can see something there. Yeah, there he is. There he is.
We are reasonably close.
I'm actually going to try and be a little bit sensible. Let's we'll just give him a little hair dry as we float over the top, and I'm going to put it down here, I think. I was going to go down next to the building, but my head took over. Okay. Okay, engines to idle. Let's pop the...
Rear crew, prepare for ground operations.
And what I'll do this time is we'll leave that open there. So, patient unknown, all-terrain vehicle, quad accident, status of medical arrival unknown because the chaps are just getting out to go and have a look.
Helicopter in position. Rear crew, you are clear to start operations.
And the patient has currently been assigned code 2, immediate risk of serious injury. I'd say, fellas, that it's not immediate risk of serious injury. I think he's already injured himself on account of the fact he's come off his quad.
We need time for ground operations.
And that's just the
Please
pilot
stand by.
telling you that. Did you hear that? I'm just a pilot, but I think I can tell he's injured himself. They'd never listen. Grey Cat, how you doing? Grey Wildcat, rather. Hey, it doesn't matter if you're late. Look at that. Royal Navy, excellent landing there. That MH60 does look good in those Royal Navy colours, I have to say. That does look rather splendid. Beautiful 500C there. Let's do a quick... Oh, we haven't done a name check yet, have we? Let's get the labels on. So, we got Falconer, we got Hawkwind, we got Mazinki, we got Ado, We've got A53 Platy. We've got Wombleway. Have I missed anyone out? No. I think that is everyone. Good to have you along, guys. There we go. Just out of interest, is anyone in the chat using Atmos Core? And if so, what preset do you use? Just interested to know. I'm using the Andrew Bennett version 2 Atmos and his Enviro, and I'm not using Atmos Core for weather. I'm just using the standard MSFS weather. Well done. It is nice seeing these H145s in the splendid colours. 3 of them now. Beautiful. Should we go and see what the doctors are doing? So here we go. We parked nice and close to the accident. You can see there's the ATV. There's our patient on the ground. Our paramedic is coming back to the helicopter now to pick up the stretcher. And I think it's worth taking a moment again to say this is all being driven now by a free mod. This casualty that's been generated here in this village with this ATV accident has all been generated by a free mod, and I've not planned any of this. And this is the beauty of it, that you can put in a good few hours shift, spend the whole day doing it if you want, and you never know where you're going to go or what kind of missions you're going to get. It's blooming amazing. Right, quick fuel check. Yeah, plenty of fuel. That's good. Missed that. Okay, so we're taking the patient, that's fine. Yeah, he's still got his 7 extremities. If I had 7 extremities, I'd be wanting the air ambulance as well, let's face it. Okay, so it looks like we're going back. Yeah, we're going back to the same hospital as we did before, which is kind of cool. I like it. You know, Raigmore is the big city helipads that we're used to, but this time we're using a proper West Coast.
Patient on board. Take care.
West Coast Hospital. Right, he's on. Wait for our chap to get on. We're not going to hang about. Let's get the engines up to flight. Have a look over here.
Secured, ready to fly.
Wait for this to get to 101. That's all. Go on. 101, and we can see we've got distance and we've got blue lines, so we're all connected up on there. Lars, no. So the mission doesn't work as multiplayer, so they can't see the assets, they can't see the patient, and that kind of thing. They're literally just following me. For them, it's kind of like a mystery tour. Okay, lifting wind from the left, so I'm just going to lift over you guys, head into wind, start picking up some speed.
VTOS. VY.
So we just need to be a little bit careful of the mountain here. I'm going to head for that notch just there, because I know we can clear it quite comfortably. Scenery is just epic, isn't it? I'm really excited already about... Oh, there's the police car. Can we see it? It's going to be too late, isn't it? There is actually a police car driving along that road, but we got here before he did. Yeah, I'm excited about flying missions like this as we get into the winter. I'm flying live weather, live date. All I've done is change the time so that we're flying earlier this afternoon. But as we get into the winter and we get the snow and all that kind of thing, I think that could be quite interesting. Lars, it's the west coast of Scotland. I'll show you in a sec. Just get everything nice and stable. It's just beautiful. I love the detail in 2024. The detail on the ground is just, I know I say it every time, but it just blows me away. Stunning. Right, let's whack the autopilot on and then couple it to the nav. So let's just check that it's doing what it should do and it's stabilizing. I'm just using the beep trim hat switch on the stick now just to alter the IS. And again, as I said before, you've got to be so careful you don't over egg it. You can very quickly over torque when you're on autopilot. There we go. Right, Lars, I said I'd show you on the map. So I'm going to go to let's just put this on here. Right, so I'll zoom out. So we've got Scotland, so no, Lake District is down here, we're up here, west coast of Scotland, up in the Highlands, and Plockton, which I've got as 2 ICAOs for some reason, Echo Golf 29 and Echo Golf D3 Mike, probably because I've got third-party scenery. This is where we are, and we're heading to the hospital over here. And I just noticed this hospital is actually marked on little nav maps, so that's a damn good indication there's a helipad there. Duh. Right. Could you fly one mission live time, so at night please? It's at least part of one. Yeah, I could do, Kenneth. I need to find out if I seem to remember there was some night vision. There was a night vision goggles add-on for this, and I've not used it yet, so I need to have a look. I have trying to fly the H145 at night in scenery like this without goggles is quite difficult. I have tried, and it's incredibly easy to get disorientated. But no, I think you're absolutely right. It's a good point. It's a good chance to say, actually, if you check out on YouTube if you look for ITV Rescue, it's a documentary from the 80s about 202 Squadron, of which this helicopter is a delivery is from. And you see them flying in all sorts of weathers at night, you know, showing all the different kind of mission profiles that they had to run, and it is quite incredible. Yeah, it's actually a great helicopter for night, Kenneth. It's got a searchlight that we can move around. I've got controls bound on my collective here so that I can move it. But yeah, flying at night, I mean, what we can do, we'll see how it goes. I went to look out my window, but of course I've got the blackout blind up. What is the time? We can have a quick look maybe towards the end of the stream. I can switch it on tonight and we can have a look at what it's like without the night vision goggles. I need to find that that mod, because I know it is somewhere. So 11 minutes to run to the hospital. I'm going to use the hat on the collective now, just to reduce altitude. Something that I didn't do in my haste when we left Plockton is I didn't put the Q&H in, which is a very, very silly thing to do. What is the Q&H? 1010 apparently. There we go. Let's keep that descent in. Yeah, anyone who's interested in joining, we're on the Southeast Asia server. So if you want to come along, you are more than welcome. You won't be able to see the mission assets, but we are on a mystery
500.
Mystery tour is the best way of saying it. Look at that, flying sideways. This is a beautiful repaint of that. I do love it. Great. Have you done the missions in the H145? Have you got the night vision goggles mod? I should say this does have a night vision lighting setting here in the lights, but I think you actually need an additional mod to be able to actually do it, is my understanding. So we're coming up over the Carl of the Couch again. Got the Sky Bridge. Amazing to think that there used to be a time where that bridge wasn't there, and you could only get there on a ferry. Five minutes out. Quick look over here. Engine's fine. I'm not bothering to change the VMS page out because because the distances we're running are so short. I'm just leaving that up. If we were doing anything longer, then I'd put the other nav map up. Great. Watching on. I just read your earlier message. Watching on poor internet from a caravan in Yorkshire. Wow. What's the weather like up there? No NVG, just IFR, then floodlight when close. Okay, fair enough. So I say I've got my searchlight set up. I'm not sure if I have on this at the moment, since I had to rebuild everything. We'll have to have a quick look. But yeah, I'm definitely up for giving that a try. Do you know, it's funny you should say that, Gray. I thought the room that I'm in now is very small, and so that I don't annoy everybody, I have to close the obviously have to close the window, because the last thing the neighbours want is me yelling out, "Oh my God, look at that mountain!" So it gets very, very hot in here, and I thought, oh, it's getting quite chilly at the moment, so it'll be absolutely fine. And then today it's been really sunny here, and I think it got up to about 23, 24 degrees around about 5 o'clock when I jumped in the car to go somewhere. So it's absolutely baking. It's almost like a second summer. Yeah, I had a feeling that was you, Ado. Don't know where you've gone. Look at that 500. Isn't that beautiful? Lovely helicopter. When I'm not flying missions, if I just want to fly a helicopter just for fun and have a fly around, that 500C is my current love. I love the Llama, and I also love the Huey, but that 500C is just beautiful. Broadford Airstrip. I was just looking to see what that was. Right, let's start concentrating. So we're 2 minutes out. I'm going to take off autopilot. And wind hasn't changed. The hospital is over there. I know what to expect now at the hospital, so there's no excuses. Let's do a nice approach and not mess about. Alright?
2 nautical miles from the hospital.
Yeah, do you know, Gray, I've got to be honest with you, the Wasp has never appealed to me. And I think I'm quite shallow when it comes to helicopters. But yeah, I never got the Wasp, and people rave about it. But it's not a helicopter that I look at and think, oh, I quite fancy flying that. But I've heard that it's a really excellent simulation of it. Okay, right, let's kill the Tabletto. There's the hospital on the nose.
Destination in sight. Medical crew is waiting on landing spot.
Wind direction hasn't changed. Quick look at everything. Engine's fine. No warnings. I can see the hospital crew now. So I'm just going to come over the top of this 500. And they're out. One of the things I love about flying helicopters, which it doesn't always happen when I'm streaming because I'm busy thinking of the stream and talking to you and all that sort of thing, is that it's very much, and I know I'm not mad because other people have said the same thing, it's almost like meditating. When you're, good God. That's going to be sore.
Helicopter in position.
When oh dear, when you're coming in on approach and you're concentrating and you've got the you're ahead of the curve with the helicopter, you're in control of it, everything feels great. It's like meditating. It really is. I can't believe that. German air ambulance has spawned there. That's strange. I didn't see that land either, it just seemed to appear. Oh, there they go. Yeah, 145 mating ritual, absolutely. Not something you want to see on a stream. It ain't that kind of show, folks. Right, what's the time? Okay, I am thinking.
Patient has been deported to the hospital and is safe.
I wonder if they're going to do the paperwork this time. See what they do. Okay, what I'm thinking is I'm going to run downstairs and I'm going to get a cold coffee from the fridge. Because I'm feeling the need. But I'm just going to check and see see if my crew go do the paperwork. No, they're getting back on board. So, what I'm going to do... I'm just listening. You getting in?
Cabin secured, ready to fly.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to accept another mission, but first of all, I'm going to run downstairs and get a coffee. So if you want to get your kettle on or get a brew or whatever you want to do, and then we'll be right back here in 2-3 minutes, if that. Okay. See you in a sec. And we're back. There we go. So let's receive new dispatch. See what we got. A race cyclist collided with a car. Cyclist hit a guardrail, which was not wearing a helmet. So let's just unpack this for a moment. A racing cyclist collided with a car. That's the first bit of bad luck he had. Then he hit a guardrail. Second bit of bad luck, and he wasn't wearing a helmet. All in all, he's not having a good day. Okay, so as before, the mission is just cleaning itself up now, getting rid of everything from the previous mission, loading up the new mission. We can have a quick look over here.
Preparations, please wait.
Going to put engines to flight. You can see the guys are doing their... Like I said at the start, this simulates the time it takes to do things, so...
Good to proceed.
It's simulating the guys in the back getting all their stuff stowed away, putting away the Mars bars. Let's close that. So we're going, what is it? 13 miles, not too far. Not too far at all. Quick look over here, everything is fine, this is all good. Everything is good there. We're connected with blue there, we've got blue there. I thought I saw... Wow, I thought I saw someone walking around there. First bit of bad luck was being a cyclist. Oh, that's controversial. I'm not a cyclist, I have to say. I stopped being a cyclist when I got a car. And sometimes I wish I had a mountain bike to go off into the mountains with, but the sight of me wearing lycra wandering around my neighbourhood is probably not a good idea.
VTOS.
Okay.
VY.
So I was going to say feels like the wind's picked up, but it hasn't. But it just caught a gust then. Weather might be closing in a bit up there, perhaps. Okay, let's go on to autopilot and we will couple with the nav. There we go, that's all good. So cheers. Do you know what? I'm going to own up to this. I've only just got into cold coffee. I always used to think cold coffee was horrible. I had tried it. Yeah, I absolutely just couldn't get my head around it at all. And then my lovely wife gave me a cold coffee back on a really hot day earlier in the summer when I wanted a coffee, and but it was just like really hot, sweltering day. I'm just adjusting our altitude here for the autopilot, and I'm addicted to cold coffee now. When it's hot like this, God, it's amazing. There's a boring fact for you. So I'm just tweaking the altitude just a little bit. It's like a balancing act between keeping in a nice climb and watching the speed as well, so we don't over talk, because as I said, it's very easy to over talk on the autopilot. So we're 5 minutes out. can see up ahead that our destination is at the head of this lock. Let's have a quick look. Wind is really buffeting us around. So 63 years, female, unconscious, collided with the car, cyclist hit a guardrail, was not wearing a helmet. Ambulance Haven Juliet has reached the scene. Crew requires further assistance. The police have arrived as well. The police will be pretty pissed off. I've just seen that. Symptoms, amputated hand. Oof. That's going to make a mess in the back. Amputated hand. If we look at the medical diagnostic page, no, let's get back. There we go. So we've got a bit more information. Actually, we haven't. We don't know a great deal, which could possibly be down to the level of the expertise on the ambulance. But anyway, 4 minutes out. Chris Homewood, please could someone explain what sounds like Vito's and B1 on takeoff? New to this sim stuff, it's Rob, so I spent my savings on sim kit. Sorry, Chris. That's just all to do with the various speeds. So like VY, for example, is the optimum climb speed. And that's I think the talky bit is part of the mod. It's part of Kicker's voice mod. I don't believe you hear that in the standard H145 sim, but it's been so long since I've flown the standard H145 sim
No paramedic. Police confirmed on scene.
that it's been a while. So we got the ambulance there, we've got the police there. Police will be standing there saying, "Oh dear, dear, dear. Not wearing a helmet, were you?" Mind you, I think that's the least of her worries if her hand's been amputated. Ain't that lovely? So it's interesting because the missions are, because it looks at the map in the area and assigns a random mission. Because of in the West Coast, you've got, you know, these kind of built-up areas. You've got these little villages. You've got a couple of towns. You've got the hills and everything. So it's interesting how it's the missions that it's coming up with. Island down there. Surprised it's not given us a search and rescue yet. Oh, the other thing I should say is I've got Bijan seasons running. Which makes the trees a little bit more realistic up here. Okay, so 1 minute out. So the autopilot off. Let's see what we got. A very famous,
crew, we are approaching the landing site.
Very famous castle down there, and I'm getting distracted by the castle, not thinking about the patient. Right, I think I can see. Yeah, that's the ambulance down there.
500.
Right, quick check of the wind. So, lovely landing site there. Oh, this is beautiful. This is lovely. I couldn't have planned this better. Just going to come around here, keep an eye on that MH60. Oh,
Rear crew, prepare for ground operations.
now I got into a vortex rotor stay there because I was too busy looking at that MH60 and looking how splendid it looked, and not checking on my vertical speed and lateral speed, forward speed. So I was very silly boy there and had to quickly take action. So is that on a slope? Not convinced. Let's have a come back round. Plonk it down on this, I'm going to say it looks like a roundabout. I think it is a roundabout. A little white dot there. Oh, blimey, did you see that?
We are reasonably close.
Jesus, what was that? Something on the ground. It's like it suddenly hit a really powerful updraft. That was weird. That is a little bit like on the last live stream. It did a similar thing coming into a landing point. That was really strange. That was a very powerful updraft. I'm going to see if it does it again. I'm curious now. Reposition and flying it like an absolute idiot. Right, let's get back.
We are reasonably close.
Nice job. I almost didn't break my spine on that one.
Rude. That was, yeah, that was odd. When I flew over that the first time, it's like all of a sudden, whoosh, we were going up. So there's our accident site. Not looking good, is it? Of there you go. There's our cyclist, no helmet. Very silly. Let's go and have a look at this castle. That detail's pretty amazing, isn't it? I think it's either one of the Orbex POIs or maybe in the sim. Aileen Donan. Aileen Donan. That detail's spectacular. Here lads, forget the patient. Let's hang out at the castle. Can you imagine living here? Imagine being up here. And that's your view. Stunning. I've got ideas well above my station. Right, so chaps are working on the patient, doing their thing. Let's have a quick look. Should really have had the VMS up for landing. Fuel is still good. Let's flip out this. So we got on the medical diagnostic page. C3 is female, road traffic collision, status upon medical arrival unconscious, not good, and patient assigned emergency code 2. So that's not brilliant. Patient condition, life score of 39, heart rate 53 beats per minute, and oxygen saturation 94.3. So it gives you a huge amount of information, and that changes. The condition of the here's the lads. The lads on the squadron have sent another one. Thank you, boys. The condition can change, as I say. Once the guys start working on the patient, the condition can improve. Or if the patient's really in a bad way, the condition can get worse. And that's what I love about this mod. It's not just a case of fly to point B, you know, something gets triggered and you pick up the patient, and you know, it's simulating so many different aspects of it, including the time that it takes to do things, which I think is really realistic, in my humble opinion. Yeah, it's a well-known thing, plus if you don't wear a helmet you can lose your hand. Not a lot of people know that. Right, the ambulance is now going off because they don't need us now, or we don't need it because we are taking the patient. We're going back to the hospital again. Come on, lads, get her in. Sorry, I'm just reading Platty's comment. They probably sell them in the gift shop behind. Yeah, they probably do. With the tartan of the clan. James Anderson, for MBG you need reshade in the add-on. Oh, reshade. Oh, okay. Yeah, I've not got that. I have not got that. Also, don't know if they got it to work in the store version. Yeah. Okay, right. Everyone's on board. We are all good to go. That's fine. Let's get engines to flight. Check over here. Marvellous. We just watched this come up to 101. Come on. There we go. Right, we're all good to go. Okay, so obstacles are blooming great big castle behind me, lumpy bumpy ground in front, and some trees and bushes and vehicles and all that sort of thing. Wind is coming from behind, so I'm going to lift, turn, and then we'll gain height over the loch and head to the hospital, and everything else is set up. Yeah, hospital 13 miles. Okay, so lifting.
Good job, Captain. Smooth landing.
Takeoff. Quick hover check. No issues. We wave farewell to the castle.
VTOS. VY.
So just keep an eye on the speed. Don't want to over talk. I'm going to pop it onto autopilot. Let's just get everything balanced out. There we go. I'm going to put it on heading mode because I just want to make sure we clip the edge there, or rather we don't clip the edge there. So I'm thinking what we might do is, after dropping this patient off, I think we'll give night flying a try. I'm telling you now, it's going to be a disaster. I will make mistakes. The last time I did it without MVG, it's in terrain like this, it's incredibly disorientating because you are so reliant on, for me anyway, on the outside picture of what's going on, and you can put the synthetic vision on the MFD, but it's not the same as having that visual awareness. So it should be good for a laugh. That's one way of putting it. Are you flying real time, Aiden? I'll also need to check that I've got my searchlight settings lined up. Let me just, I've suddenly realised I'm bobbing my head around like an idiot. There we go. Cold coffee. I managed to get into my mid-50s before I realised the pleasure of cold coffee. That's actually quite sad, really, isn't it? Quite pathetic. Let's bump outside. Put the labels on. That's interesting. Looks like my searchlight's already on. I could do a quick check, can't I? See if, oh no, the searchlight's not on. God, what are my bindings? Okay, that's working. Yeah, okay. So that is set up. Let's have a quick look up at the top. Actually, we can put it on here, can't we? God, it's been so long since I've done this. Let's have the high intensity searchlight on. Get map submissions up again. Let's pop outside. And let's see. Yeah, it's working, look. So I've got a hat switch set up on my collective, so that I can rotate and move that. And then if I press it, is it going to go off? Ah, just the landing light. Okay. Excellent. That's good. That's good. Right, let's get ourselves back on mission, matey. Faffing about with your lights. We can also, where is it? So we'll have, yeah, have that off. I am going to pop these on. It's starting to get a bit dark. Back, there we go. Sean, how you doing? So we are, apart from the quality of the pilot, we are ready for some night flying. What are you doing? The co-pilot cat's just walked in. There's the ambulance down there. That's still you can just see it over there. Oh, it's just gone behind that hill. It's still this mod is so so detailed. It's still simulating the ambulance going back. You can just see it. The ambulance running back to the to its base. It doesn't just delete it. It doesn't just cancel it. Pretend that it's not a, you know, it no longer exists. It simulates it going back to its base. That is how detailed this is. Sean, Tropical Storm Gabriel is on the waters right now. Blimey. Well, if it comes anywhere near me, I'm in trouble. Where are we? 5 minutes out. Just listening to the engine notes there. I wouldn't say I'm paranoid, but ever since we had the engine fire, it has made me a little bit, you know. We're going to see the ambulance again. He's racing us. There he is. I think we should go and say hello to him. There he is. I mean, it's just crazy, isn't it? I mean, I just love flying stuff. I'm not a tech guy at all, but to write a mod that has an ambulance that's no longer part of our mission. He's going back because we don't need him, because the patient is in, you know, is in our helicopter. But to write a mod that still simulates the ambulance driving to wherever he's going now is just incredible. Amazing. I was getting a bit carried away there and started over talking. Sean, we are on the west coast of Scotland. We are just flying over Broadford airstrip. Once we land, I'll show you one little nav map. Yeah, it's the west coast of the Highlands of Scotland. Oh, that's a shame, Craig. Yeah, I don't know what the issue is there, but yeah, sometimes it does some strange things, doesn't it? But yeah, thanks for joining. Good to have you along. Okay, so we know this hospital helipad reasonably well now. So same drill as before, wind direction is the same. Going to get rid of the tablet. I have to say I'm quite excited about doing the night flying, but also at the same time a little bit like, you know, when you just know something's going to go wrong. Thread through the trees here. Oh, watch out for the MH60. There we go. Right, so let's have the synthetic vision on. There we go. So that's all good to go. They can just do their thing.
Position. Rear crew, you are clear to start operations.
interesting. I just noticed that is showing us on even though the switch
Patient
is
has
off.
been deported to the hospital and is safe.
Well, the next one might not be so lucky. Oh, okay, because it's still got that on. It's interesting. So if I then switch this on... God, it's been so long. Yeah, okay, so I have got to switch it on. There we are.
Ready to fly.
Okay. Are you ready? Are you ready? Wow, I thought it was going to crash then. Did you hear the sound go? It's funny. Lars, City Hopper. Do you know, I had a feeling with your name that might be you. Right, acute pulmonary edema with crackles. That's not good. That is not good. Okay, let's do it. Okay, I was kind of waiting.
Securing the equipment. Stand by.
Maybe if I click live. Live. There we go. There we go. Look at this. What madness is this? Okay, let's just turn up our displays a little bit. So we're 27.2 miles away, just waiting for the cabin to do their thing. Oh, that's interesting. This is a new thing. Oh no, there he goes.
Cabin checks finished. We're set to go.
Okay, so that's where we're going. It's a fair old jaunt. Okay. Good to see the RAF chaps doing some PT. That's what it's all about. Okay, let's have engines to flight. Quick check. Yeah. So my landing light is working. Come on. 50 burpees. Okay, so that's good. Engine is just going, there we go, engine at 101, so that's okay. Nav is all set. I just need to be 100% that I've got everything where I need it to be, seeing as we're doing this kind of flying now. Okay. Quick cover check. Everything's good. No warning lights, engine's fine. Wind is on the nose. Clear of the obstacles.
VTOS. VY.
This is actually quite atmospheric, isn't it? Now this is what I'm talking about. We've just absolutely lost all reference to the ground. So Just flying it using the instruments now. It's interesting, I was getting nervous about the altitude because I know that there's mountains out there, so I was just pulling back there and trying to get some rapid climb in. But it's such a strange feeling because for me flying helicopters is so much about reference to the world around you to see what you're doing. It's really weird when you can't see that and you're flying on instruments. Okay, let's pop it onto autopilot, couple the nav. Yeah, times like this, oh my lord, I wish I had the MVG mod, because there ain't much to see out there. Okay, I'm just going to... Wrong button. Let's kill the... There we go. So I've just turned the landing light off. Pick up some speed. It's weird because it feels like we're not moving. I feel like we're hovering, but we're not. I guess also because when you're in the simulator, you don't have the you don't have that physical feedback. You don't feel what the helicopter's doing. So all I'm doing now is just using the cyclic trim hat to change the IAS. As before, just tweaking along. Quick look down here at the GTN just to make sure that we haven't got any terrain warnings. So our ground speed is 80 knots. At the moment we've got the wind at the moment is 30 knots from 222, so we've got a fair old crosswind component there, which is why you can see we're crabbing. Let's just pop out here. Oh wow. That's actually quite nice lighting, isn't it? Something that I haven't got on because it's more of for the civilian thing, but if we pop in, might as well have a play with the lights. If I go back up here, where is it? Oh, it's not on here, is it? I think we have to... I think it's on the panel. Well, I'm just going to check just in case. Should really have that on, shouldn't we? Okay, let's have a look down here. We're right in the back. There's the machine that goes ping. So if I pop here, go to lights, where is it? Logo, Fenestron. Can't really see it. There's a faint kind of blue. I think you probably see it more on the ground perhaps. But there we go. Not a lot to look at, but very atmospheric. Very atmospheric. And it's really weird, but I mean, it's night time where I am now. It's dark outside, and it's actually really atmospheric flying this in the dark. It's going to be very interesting, and interesting is probably not the right word, landing at the casualty site. That's where it's going to be really tricky. I am not going to make any bones about that. So, 40 years old, female, responsive, acute pulmonary edema with crackles. Ambulance Pioneer Yankee has reached the scene. Crew requires further assistance. Fire engine LFB 19P crew arrived at location, and the police are there. Symptoms: pain and numb legs. So everybody is there at the moment, and we can see this isn't quite populated yet, which is fine. Actually, yeah, let's have a look at... Oh, we're going to Glenfinnan. Wow, this is like a proper tour. That's actually Glenfinnan. That is the Harry Potter Glenfinnan Railway viaduct, if you're a Harry Potter fan. So, let's see what we've got. So at least this shouldn't be too difficult, I don't think. Famous last words, eh? Famous last words. 13 minutes out. So what do you think in the chat? I'm interested to know. Is night flying something that is interesting to watch? Or is it, because you can't see the outside world, is it not quite so interesting? It's one of those weird things about, that is blooming so cool. That other H145 in formation. It's one of the weird things about streaming for me. I always think it's, you know, I'm quite happy flying along and using the sim and all that kind of stuff, and you guys are watching, and you know, it's how interesting is it for you? For me, I've obviously got, you know, I'm thinking about the things I've got to do, I'm thinking about what I've got to do when I get there. I'm on autopilot at the moment, so I'm not having to fly, but as we get closer I'm going to have to take control, and that's going to be really weird without visual reference to the ground. So I've got plenty to keep me occupied, but for you watching, I'd be interested to know what you think. Okay, Kenneth, cheers. That's good. That's good. I tell you what's really weird. Well, it's not weird at all. Weird is the wrong term for it, but like, I can see the light of the other helicopter there. I can see a light up ahead. The idea now of coming off autopilot with that visual picture is quite unnerving, because yeah, there's not a huge amount to reference. It is all about the instruments, and it's funny, it makes you realise when you don't do instrument flying in the helicopter. God, I mean, I'm not embarrassed to say I don't think I've flown at night like this this year. So to be completely out of practice with it is really strange. Now I'm looking down there at the tours, and we can see that potentially we've got some issues up ahead, so I'm going to bump our altitude up. I'm just watching over there on our the far left ribbon. We don't want to overtalk it, so I'm just, as I change the altitude that we're aiming for, I'm just watching that to make sure it doesn't start overtalking. Martin, I almost never fly these conditions either, so it's not going to be at all interesting how I do it, because this is going to be very much by the seat of my pants and hoping it doesn't all go wrong, to say the least. I don't think I've got the H-Tours pack downloaded, because I tend to use the GTN, but you can have it up on here as well, but you need a separate download. I should also say this helicopter has got weather radar. Right, that 500 is unnerving. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it off autopilot. I'm going to get a climb in. Jeez. Oh my lord. That's what I'm talking about. Did you see that? That was the great whale appearing out of the sea as we went past. So, keeping that climb in. That could easily have been avoided had I been flying at higher altitude. It's not rocket science. You could see from the tours on the GTN that we had plenty of red stuff around, so that was fairly obvious that was going to happen. I can see the chats moving. I will catch up with it in a second. I'm just concentrating. A Mo. Okay, let's pop that back on. Well, that was exciting. That was close, Ado. That was very close. But yes, Martin, the H-Tours is muted, but as you saw, I was actually looking at it. What happened there was so I took the helicopter off autopilot to climb because I could see that we had low ground, and as soon as I took it off autopilot and had manual control, without visual reference, it suddenly started sinking. So yeah, that was interesting, which is not the word. Oh, I'm just reading the comments. But we didn't crash, eh? I immediately took command of the vehicle and took us out of the situation. We're all safe. The lads are all safe. Can't really see their faces in the back, but everyone's happy. Yeah, that was a little bit close, wasn't it? That was a little bit close. Wow. Just having a quick look at there. I am going to, while I remember, pop that on, so we're good to go. I love this helicopter. It is so atmospheric. There's a little town. It's just so cool. I love the 500C for just messing around sightseeing, but flying missions in this is just so brilliant. And thank you guys for talking me into doing some night flying, because as much as I'm completely out of my comfort zone, it's good fun, and it's made me realise it's something I need to practice. I'm still dreading trying to come in to pick up the casualty though, because that's going to be really interesting. Right, I'm going to reduce altitude a little bit. But not too much. Kenneth, this is much better than airline cruise, thanks so much. Oh cool, no, I'm glad you're enjoying it. I'm glad you're enjoying it. I can't do that kind of flying. I've never done the tube liner stuff. I think it's great that people do, and I totally understand why people get a lot out of it, but it's not something that really... I can spend hours doing this sort of thing, but I couldn't spend hours flying a tube liner from A to B. And this is, I genuinely find this interesting. I'm personally, it almost feels quite selfish.
Ambulance with no paramedic.
I'm finding this fascinating. I really am. Fascinating and terrifying at the same time. There's this sense of relief while the autopilot's flying it, but just knowing at some point I've got to let down. And yeah, I've got to let down and well, what can I say? Falcon I had to drop out, it was scary. It was. Chinook, how the devil are you? Good to see you. Good to see you. I hope what you're about to see doesn't give you nightmares. So we're 3 minutes out. I can see the road there, so that's quite nice. That gives me a nice warm feeling. And I can see we're coming over a ridge now, so I'm going to leave it on autopilot for the time being. And I want you to watch what happens when I come off autopilot, because this is what happened before. And this for me is one of the hardest bits. When you are, if I was flying in daylight now, I'd have a really good sight picture of everything around me. I'd have the horizon, I'd see where I was, I'd have that peripheral vision, so that it would be very very easy for me to quickly make adjustments, adjustments on the cyclic, on the collective, to gain control. Whereas when I take off autopilot now, because I have got nothing, it's going to be interesting. Right, shut up, Rob. So we'll put the high intensity light on now. I'm also going to put the landing light on.
2 nautical miles from accident area.
God, this is actually really scary. Okay. Stand by, everybody. We are coming off autopilot. So let's get ready and... Okay, that was alright. That was alright. That was okay. We are climbing. So let's get control of that. Let's get a descent in. I seem to remember the searchlight doesn't kick in until you get quite low down, so not altogether surprised that we're not seeing that at the moment. And I'm keeping one eye down on the GTN to have a look at the tours.
Rear crew, we are approaching the landing site.
Good God, this is difficult. We're going to overshoot it really badly. Doesn't help that we're so high. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the road. So I've got a better visual reference. Keeping the descent in. I'm using the GTN to get a better idea of where I am in relation to anything that I'm likely to slam into. We're going way too fast. Way too fast. Okay, so I think I can see the ambulance lights ahead, but that might just be wishful thinking. The searchlight still isn't picking up anything. Oh, blown by the wind a little bit there. See, it's funny, it feels like we're not moving, it feels like we're hovering. But we're not. We are actually moving forward. So I'm just keeping the descent in. I need my searchlight to kick in at some point fairly soon. Yeah, Kenneth, you imagine power lines, radio towers and trees too. Yeah, absolutely. And we've got all of them in this. All of them. Just to add to the fun, you see now the tours on the GTN. We're just threading in between the high ground, but I'm using the road as a marker. Come on. Still no sign of the searchlight. Not seeing it. I'm sure it's on. I really want to get it. I kind of need the searchlight because I need a good look at where we're coming in. That does look like flashing blue lights down there, so we'll take our chances with that. Getting blown by the wind there. Yeah, they are definitely blue flashing lights. We've got a car park down there.
500.
So in daylight, I probably wouldn't have any hesitation putting it down there in the trees, but okay, there's the searchlight.
We are too far.
So the searchlight is now kicked in. Tell you what I'm going to do. Let's use some of our technology. Really didn't go to plan.
We are too far.
Okay, this is not good, but we got out of it. Come on. Okay, that's what I wanted. So we're going to use the technology that we've got with the helicopter, because this is a modern helicopter, and it has got a very nice. It's got a very nice autopilot. Auto hover. Right, let's see what we got. There's the searchlight. What have we got down there?
We are too far.
That doesn't look too bad, does it?
We are reasonably close. We are too far. Reasonably close.
Okay, I'm just letting the helicopter stabilize again. Using the pedals now to rotate us. So I'm going to try and get us just over here.
We are too far. We are reasonably close.
Just inching it over. Look with the searchlight. See where those trees are. Well, that tree's a bit close, isn't it? Okay. I'm going to try something now. Autopilot off. So I'm going to try and hand fly us a little bit closer. Thread it through the trees. It was interesting using the autopilot hover mode there for a landing. That's actually the first time I've done that, but it feels very odd. And much more comfortable hand flying it. Okay, we're down. Oh my lord. Wow.
Rear crew, prepare for ground operations.
Funny. That, well, I gotta say, I really enjoyed that. As terrifying as that was.
Helicopter in position. Rear crew, you are clear to start operations.
That was good fun. Definitely need a lot more practice doing that kind of thing. And it also goes to show how in the real world with a crew on board, you'd have a guy, you'd have the door open, you'd have a guy hanging out at the door, looking down, giving you giving you distances to obstacles and all that sort of thing. It's one of those situations where you realise just how much it means having a good crew. Wow. So they're going to go into this house, which presumably our patient is. Let's have a look. See if we can see. No. The oh no, it's over here. There we go. There's our patient on the ground. Oh, wow. That is mental. I've got to say, that is probably the most atmospheric mission from a landing on site that I've ever had. Blimey. I didn't have the BMS on. Someone will tell me off for that. Martin, yes, they would be under night vision goggles. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm going to have the weirdest dreams tonight now. I know it. Who's this coming up? Ado! Come on, lads. Come on, that's it. Up to. He's good at his PT, Ado. Wow. Okay, so let's start thinking about next steps. I'll show you, let's show you quickly. So this is where we are. This is Glenfinnan. We are parked on this road here. This is where the casualty is. This is where... lost it there. There it is. There's the viaducts there from the Harry Potter films. I'd be interested to see what hospital it takes us to now. I'd be surprised if it takes us all the way back there. Hopefully it's going to be somewhere around here.
Ambulance.
Oh! Patient will go in ambulance. Patient is stable enough for being wait for crew to then set route for home base. Okay, so we're not going to take the patient. So what's happened here is we've arrived with our doctor. He has, because of his expertise, been able to do what he needs to do on the patient. and the patient now doesn't need to come back via to the hospital with the helicopter. You know, they're absolutely fine. So we'll see what crew are coming back. So
Cabin secured, ready to fly.
okay, so we're good to go. So it's telling us we're returning to base. I'm just looking up on the map now. Where should we head to? Where should we head to? We could go to Oban. EGEO. Fuel is, yeah, fuel's okay to go to. Let's head to Oban. Okay, so select a base from map. Now this is going to be a bit tricky. Is that what I'm looking at? Yep. Okay. Wow, never seen that before. Interesting. Okay, so let's open on map. What I will do now is we'll use the GTM. So we can pop in to here. See if it comes up on the nearest. Should have done, shouldn't it? Where is it? Oh, there it is. Activate. Receiving a new dispatch. Hang on a minute. What's going on? Okay, that's fine. Right, so we've got that all set up. I will jump into here. We'll set the nav source as Unit 1 co-pilot. So we're now linked to the GTN, 24.5 nautical miles. This is saying 24.6, but that's okay. Happy with that? Okay. I'm going to close the tabletto of doom. The engines to flight. Okay. Yeah, let's night flight it to Oban. Why not? Why not? Right, obstacles. Trees blooming everywhere and lots of high ground. We're in a valley. The wind is coming from that away. So just conscious of the lay of the land. We're going to lift vertically, keep a good climb in, and hopefully not bang into anything. How's about that? There we go, thank you. Now you can see. funny, this synthetic vision is deceptively makes you feel deceptively safe. Keeping that climb in. Okay, gentle left turn. You can see the lock up ahead. That's a nice feeling because it means that we've got nothing we can bang into in the front.
VY.
Now this is not a good time for my monitor to say it's going to automatically turn off in 5 minutes. Go a while. God, it certainly makes you concentrate doing this. Which I know is somewhat stating the obvious, but coming back on the speed a little bit, get some more climb in. Height is definitely my friend right now. Just coming over to the right, keeping that climb in. God, I tell you what, it's one way of shutting me up, isn't it? Doing a bit of night flying. Okay. Right. And I'll let the autopilot have it now. Where's the mouse gone? Come on. There we go. Right, so we're getting messages coming up on here. Let's have a quick look. Okay, so we kind of told us that we're going to go back to base. Now it's trying to give us a mission. It's going bananas. Race cyclist collided with a car. Cyclist hit a guardrail, was not wearing a helmet. There's far too many of those in this area. Far too many of those in this area. People need to A, wear helmets and not hit cars and guardrails at the same time. But anyway, so I think it's probably going to carry on doing that, but we had selected we were returning to base, and that's what it's got down here. So that is that's our current status, that we're RTB. Hello, there we go. Watch the speed. Quick check down here, nothing coming up on the tours. I'll tell you what I'm going to do actually, so that doesn't keep going off. There's no way I can really change that. Now, actually, that's just reminded me something. On the way back to base, available. If we go into here, so a lot of the dispatch, a lot of the communication between you and dispatch is done automatically. So, but I'm going to try something. On the way back to home, available, on the way back to base, available. Okay, I wondered if there was a on the way back to base, unavailable, but there isn't. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to select 7, and then that will stop pinging us, hopefully. Okay, it's all good. Yeah, there we go. So that's status there, unavailable for dispatch. So that means that they're not going to... we've kind of signed off now. Signed off, heading to Oban. I'll quickly show you where we are. So this is where we took off. We've climbed using the loch. And we're now heading over this way. And heading down to Oban. So once we get over this high ground here, it's not too difficult. Famous last words. Okay. I should say, actually, I should have said this earlier on. It will come as no surprise to anybody that this... I don't make these videos in the spirit of tutorials, trying to show people how to do anything. I'm very much learning. Like this flight for me is a whole learning experience. And it's funny how it makes you much more reliant on the instruments and that kind of thing, so you get more involved into the systems. So yeah, I do make mistakes, and I always try, if I spot a mistake, I always try and point it out on the video. I think sometimes people think that because you make YouTube videos, you're doing it because you think you're an expert. And I'm going to show the world how it's done. That's not the case by any stretch. All I'm doing is just sharing my fascination with you. I just honestly think this is amazing. I think the helicopter is incredible, the action expansion pack is incredible, but this mod that Andrew has created that allows you to fly these random and anywhere missions are just amazing. So we're coming up now, we are 8 minutes out from North Connell. Let's have a quick look at the Met. Okay, QNH is 1010, so we've still got that. Looks like the weather is out of date on little nav map. So little nav map with the out of date weather is saying 19, but yeah, actually, yeah, but I think I can just see it up ahead. You can fly, if we had it, you can fly a full ILS in this helicopter, but we don't, or North Connell doesn't have it, so we're not going to be doing that. Okay, so quick look at everything. We are all okay. We've got enough fuel to get us there, so that's fine. We've got nothing coming up on our warnings. I have got the landing light on. I have got the high intensity searchlight on, which I am going to turn off because we don't need that now. That's all good. That's all fine. We can start the descent, or certainly we can lose some height now. Okay, get the right switch. I was going for the searchlight switch there. So many buttons and hats. This Whirlpool Hawk 60 grip is amazing, and it's doing a flight like this where you really get to use all the functionality of it, where you're messing about with the searchlight and everything. Great fun. Anyway, how are you guys in the chat? Sorry, been so intent messing about with my switches and everything. The guys that are still flying, look at that. Nice. So yeah, there's North Connell ahead. That's a nice, all those lights and everything gives you a much better idea of what's going on. It's funny how at night in a helicopter it feels like it just feels like we're not moving, but we're actually, you know, we're what? Where is it? We've got a ground speed of 88 knots, indicated just under 100. We've got a 27 knot ish headwind, so it's fairly windy. Oh, I can see a red light up ahead. Something's moving. Let's quickly put labels on. HEMS. There's Ado. Let's have a quick pop outside while we're... There's Lars. Okay, let's keep that descent in. Got the Q and H correctly set. Nice view of the runway there. Apologies to CICERS. I do hope they're not practicing circuits or anything. Last thing I want to do is ruin someone else's flight. Okay, so let's put the cyclic trim release on and flying shark missions in the sim always reminds me of solo flight on the C-65. God, that solo flight is ringing a bell. I tell you what you did just remind me of. And I was thinking this earlier, how much I loved doing the kind of HEMS search and rescue missions in this. There was a simulator in the early, I want to say mid-80s actually, called Super Huey, and it was going to be launched on the ZX Spectrum, which was the computer that I had, and for some reason they cancelled it, and it was available on the Commodore 64 I think it was. But I remember being so excited as a kid about this Super Huey sim, thinking I was going to be flying search and rescue and all that kind of stuff, but it never came to fruition. And now here I am as a middle-aged man who should know better, having a whale of a time doing it in this. It's just the way modern sims just are absolutely incredible. So North Connell, there is a bit of high ground between us and the airport, and I think you can just see that the high ground is starting to obscure some of it. There we go, I've just put the landing light on. Ah, Kenneth, you played that as well. Was it any good? I literally, as a kid, dreamt of flying that, but never got to, because as I say, it didn't come out on the ZX Spectrum. But God, the hours I imagined doing exactly the kind of stuff that I'm doing in this. I love the night lighting in this, just looking down, trying not to, but seeing the traffic driving around and the street lights. Yeah, let's concentrate on flying the helicopter, eh? Okay, just conscious of the high ground, so keeping away from that. Yeah, the Amiga was good. I had that as well, but I don't think I had much. I had some kind of games on there, like God, what was it? Yeah, concentrate on flying, Rob.
$500.
I thought I had some third-party scenery for this, but it doesn't look like I do. I must not have loaded it in. Okay, so we'll park in front of the tower. Why the hell not? With the Royal Air Force. Oh, look at that, we got a marshaller. Oh, got to do that. I know the marshallers sometimes act a bit funny with helicopters, but let's see. let's just get stabilized again. Sometimes it's very tempting when you're trying to get a view of the ground to move the helicopter in a way you shouldn't. Oh. Yeah, that marshaller isn't quite working with the helicopter. Blimey. Yeah, okay, it's not really working. Let's just sit down. Well, that was a huge amount of fun. I have got to say, I absolutely thoroughly enjoyed that. F-18 Interceptor. I wonder if that's what I'm thinking of.
Mission accomplished. Well done.
I wonder if that's what I'm thinking of. Yeah, I'm sure that's the one I'm thinking of. There were some helicopter ones as well. I used to love the like the gunship and that sort of thing. All that kind of stuff. Let's have a few bits and bobs off. How is everything looking? Marshall is still desperately wanging his wang around. Okay.
Landed. Crew deboard authorized.
Alright, lads. Well done.
Hey, my perfect crew. Hi, guys.
I'm getting a bit emotional
Hi,
here.
Sarah. How are you?
I'm going to have to come here to North Connell more often. You get a welcome like that. There's the lads. They're all walking off. They're off down the pub. Okay, right. Quick check of all this down here. Blah, 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 blah. That's all good. We can turn that off now. Come on. Didn't want to do that. Quick look at that. Have those off. And we can now... Yep. Turn the battery off. There we go. We just got the torch. Right, let's pop outside. This is mental. Here we go. How's it go? I don't normally do this. But this is actually... After that flight, this is actually quite atmospheric. There's my co-pilot. When are you ever going to smile, mate? Eh? Well, there we go. Well, thank you to everybody for joining. Thanks to everyone who stuck with it the whole time. We've been streaming for just over 3 hours. We've run quite a few missions. I need to put the rotor brake on. We've run quite a few missions, and yeah, it's been quite interesting, and certainly doing that landing. That night landing to pick up the casualty was a real eye-opener for me, but I did enjoy that very much. Thanks to the guys that flew along. I hope you enjoyed it. I know it's not quite the same because you can't see the assets and all that sort of stuff, but I hope the mystery tour was relatively good. Thanks to Ado for doing his PT. He's a good lad. He'll go far. And yeah, pleasure having you. I look forward to seeing you on the channel again very soon. Take care now. Bye bye.